What lessons would you say that you can take from a difficult season last year to help you move forward in 2026?
I guess the only way I look at 2025 is, you know, they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I guess.
Really?
I guess that's a saying.
What makes you say that?
I mean, well, what I take from it is when you go through tough times or tough experiences, you know, you should come out of them better positioned in some way. You know, you should be fortified.
Oh, Newgarden.
You either get broken down by something and you stay broken down, or you get broken down and then you build back up and you build back stronger. And so I like to think that we're going to come into 2026 stronger as a team, you know, stronger as people, as racers, and make the most of it.
Josef Newgarden will awaken from what has been a nightmare year to the most beautiful dream. It will be a win at home in Nashville for Josef Newgarden.
If you were to identify a silver lining that you have seen in terms of helping you move forward, maybe with some new knowledge that you didn't have, what would you say it is?
I don't know that there's a silver lining. That's a great question.
Thank you.
And I would love to give you a silver lining. I don't think there's one present. Outside of maybe the great teacher of adversity.
Okay.
That would be the only silver lining to me, is adversity is a great teacher. That could be the only thing I could take from it.
Noted, okay. Would you agree if you were told that you're the most well-rounded driver in the paddock?
Would people say that?
I think people might say that.
Okay, well, I think we're pretty rounded. I really do. You know, there's times where we waver up and down depending on track type. You know, we go to 3 different types of tracks. It's street circuits, road courses, and the ovals. And, you know, sometimes we hit all 3 of them. Sometimes we miss one or the other. But I think typically when you look at a long time period, we're able to get almost everything consistently. And that's what you have to, you know, do to be well-rounded. And I think we can do a great job at all of them. If you want to be a champion in IndyCar, you have to be good at everything. So I think trying to be well-rounded is always the goal.
What does it take to compete with someone like Alex Palou, who's been so dominant recently?
Yeah, I think Alex and his team in conjunction have done a good job of being crazy consistent. You know, you want to talk about being well-rounded. They've been the most rounded of anybody the last year, and that's what it takes to be excellent and to win the championship. So I think for us, that's, you know, we're looking to get back to that form. I know we're capable of it, but you have to match that. If you don't, then you're not going to be, you know, in the conversation to beat him. So we're very much aware of the task at hand.
Now Newgarden takes the move. Now Newgarden runs for the lead of the race. Wheel to wheel and side by side. Palou goes high and Newgarden leads.
How has your team come together to refocus, to rebuild the confidence it needs to compete right away in 2026?
Well, I think always with racing, especially IndyCar now, it comes down to execution. And that's a broad word, but, you know, execution is really the details across the weekend. It's how are we taking notes? How are we communicating? What decisions are we making on Friday versus Saturday versus Sunday? You know, how are our pit stops? How are we calling the races? You know, how are we speaking together as a group after each race weekend? Are we learning on the fly quickly enough? That's execution. Those are all the details. You know, and there's many more pieces that you throw into that, but that's what's going to make us excellent. It's what's made us excellent in the past, and I think we can still do that. We might just approach it in a slightly different way.